Hey everyone, it's Monday the 18th of November and the time is currently, let me just check the PC, 6:25 in the evening. Right, today's video. I'm going to show you what I've been up to in this whole area because I've made a lot of changes, tidied things up, and I actually really do like how it's come out, and I haven't quite finished. I've got a piece of equipment I've set up to test. I've got a PC system to set up that I've set up, and I just need to turn it on and test. I thought I'd do that on camera. So I don't even know if this setup is actually working. I don't know if the TV I'm using as a monitor is actually going to pick up the signal from the PC, but we'll find out. I've also got a piece of audio equipment set up on this bench right beside me. It's something that I found in the bins. I can't remember if it was last Thursday or last Friday. I just took my bag of rubbish down there like I normally do, and there's sat this big black metal box because that's all I could see in the dark. And you know, I just stuck my hand around and thought, oh, it's metal. Oh, it feels like something electrical because I could feel all the knobs and switches on the front. So I was like, yep, I'll take that upstairs. And I can actually demonstrate that as well. So, before we get into all that, I'll just show you what I've been up to. I've stacked everything up there now. The Bush radio, the new piece of equipment, which is a stereo cassette tape player, and my amplifier and Sony speaker. I've got the other one just over here, and the PC that I've set up is over here. And I've also done some work on these sockets, which I will also talk about. But first, this thing. So as I was saying, I found that in the bins out back, and I couldn't leave it there. So, as you can see, I brought it upstairs and set it up here. So the fact it's set up should be a good clue that it does work, although it didn't when I first brought it up here. Well, it half did. As in, there's audio coming out the left speaker perfectly. In fact, it did come with a cassette as well. And this was all playing perfectly. I haven't had to do anything to the actual tape deck. I haven't had to clean the heads, I haven't had to put any belts or anything on it, it's just worked. The issue was with the right speaker. So, there's a god-awful, very loud hum coming out of that speaker, which didn't get affected no matter what I did with the volume or anything. And this has got little built-in LED VU meters, up here. And the one for the right speaker was just pegged right out to max all the time. So I opened it up. Well, I took a photo of it before that, put it up on the ElectroTap Facebook group I'm on. And then took the cover off, cleaned up these buttons with a bit of WD. WD-40 works pretty well as a contact cleaner. The problem is you end up having to mop up all the access because it doesn't just evaporate like contact cleaner does. So a downside to using it, but I don't know where my contact cleaner is at the minute. Anywho, that, and I was lazy that day, I just picked up whatever was closest. And just as I was about to clean up another selector switch in there, it's actually on the inside, and it's operated when you press play and record together, the play and record selector switch basically. Because I noticed that when I nudged that, the hum would sort of flake in and out, and I thought, that's where the problem is, it's a dirty selector switch. But yeah, just as I was about to do that, I saw some notifications come through on that post, and there were some guys on there were telling me to do the same thing, so I did. It's fixed the problem. So I've got a lovely little realistic SCT-39 stereo cassette tape deck. I only got the one tape deck, which is not a problem. I've also opened up the plug and checked that's all correct in there and actually wired quite nicely. Just plug that in, press the button. I couldn't see the LED at my angle. Can't see it at all actually. And if we press play and flick my amplifier over,
That's very true, that is. As you said, he knows talent. I never stopped looking for it, I'm told.
we have audio.
He goes on to say, I, along with millions of others,
it sounds equal. I should have the balance. Well, that doesn't have balance on it, but this does. Which, coincidentally, is also realistic. And I only installed this on this setup like a month ago. So I did have a little subwoofer up the corner, but the inline volume broke on it. And I took it all out and put this one in. So I've been using just a set of Dell's computer speakers for ages, and I thought, you know what, I'll just upgrade. These speakers were also being used on that subwoofer, so I just connected them to this and plugged this in. So I've got the PC audio coming through this now. I then realised a few weeks after I took the subwoofer out, because I kept it. I'm so glad I did, because I realised that you can actually just take out the inline volume control. You don't really need it. It's just more of a convenience thing, because the actual subwoofer's got a volume on it. So you could just set the volume on that and then use the PC volume or whatever. Or maybe I could actually just find a replacement from something. Did I turn it off? Yes, I did. But I actually quite like this setup anyway, so I don't plan to put it back in. I've got my bush radio down there. Dab. I've got a smudge right here. Probably enjoying the amount of space he's got up here now. Right, so we'll move along to the next thing, which is the outlets, which is something I've actually been working on today. So I've actually noticed that both of these were pretty loose on the wall. The screws and the wall plugs had all come loose. So I thought I'd run to the store, I'd get some of their metal plasterboard plugs. These are great for things like this, or putting light fittings up on the ceiling. You just screw these straight, you mark out where your holes have got to go, then you can screw these straight into the ceiling. Although I find it a lot easier if there's like a pilot hole there, but you can just screw them straight into the plasterboard. Don't hit wooden studs, because I've done that and you ruin that bit, then you ruin the plug. Good way of finding the studs though, without doing too much damage. But this was a bigger job than I thought it was. Because obviously I need to get behind the sockets to get to the screws and the plugs to pull the old plugs out and put the new metal ones in. Which meant I had to pretty much, well I did, I had to unwire all of this. I had to just remove the whole lot. Refit the back boxes. Not on this one, I'd done this one a while back. Refit the back boxes, rewire everything, and then I thought, while I'm at it, I'll add a fourth on the end. So these three are actually on the ring bang. That one is a spur. You're trying to chase my finger, I saw that. Anyway, and that's actually a brand new socket with a USB on it, because when I was fitting it, there's the one that was up there. There's nothing wrong with this one. But I'd undone the screw on the live terminal too far and it had fallen off. But I thought I'd lost it, for one. Found it, and then couldn't get the damn thing back in without dropping it inside the socket. And it actually fell through the earth contact there, believe it or not. And then it dropped in there again and I couldn't get it out. So I went and bought a new one. And while I was fitting a said new one, I moved this off the bench and found the screw. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go again. Because I wouldn't mind putting this somewhere else in the flat, because they're quite useful to have. I could put it in the kitchen, actually. Oh, I need that. So I thought, you know, I could just take the screws out, take the back off, and then when I did that I realised I can't, because this metal strap is actually permanently fixed across it. It's sort of riveted on each end. Then out of curiosity, I stuck a magnet on the screw, because I assumed they were brass. They're not, they're magnetic. So I just used a magnetic screwdriver to get the screw back in there, back in where it's meant to be, so I can reuse that now. I'm going to stick it somewhere else and give it a clean. I actually cleaned up all of these as well. And on here, I didn't realise I was getting that mucky, because this hides it most of the time like that. So I went until I sort of went like that to give myself some room. I was like, ew, you see where smudge sits up here. So I gave that a good clean. Right. So here we go. I've got the PC set up here. So I've got my little Dell Inspiron set up in here. I'm sure when I did a video not so long back with that in it, I said I was going to set it up in here as like a little editing rig. Which is what I've done, and that is a completely different TV because I found that in the bins as well. That's the third one. So I've got two small black ones and the big one. That's a Samsung, and the big grey one is a Toshiba. No remotes for any of them. Although with this one, this has got a little like tiny little joystick thing on the back of it, so you can operate all the menus and whatnot that way. So I thought something had fallen over for a second there. Let's turn on the PC. That's firing up, that's good. For some reason, whenever you turn this TV on from the plug, that turns on automatically. There you go, got the Samsung thing there. The joystick is right down here. DTV. If I move it down. That one. Menu. Nope, it's that one. There we go. I think it's HDMI 1 that I want, if I remember correctly. Yep, there we go. I'll just move that out of the way so you can see it. That's actually working great. Why'd you put a fresh install of Windows on that? Because I don't like the SSD that I used on it. I might have to make some adjustments there because my icons are off the screen there. Yeah. It's off, all the taskbars off the screen at the bottom as well, so I've got a bit of setting up to do, but it's all working at least. Brilliant. Chuffed with that. I've got like a spare rig set up, stroke editing rig or whatever else I want to use it for. In fact, I've got enough room down here. I could put the bigger of the two spare machines down here if I wanted to. Right. Getting through this video a lot faster than I thought we would. So, that's the other advantage about using a TV, you know, as a monitor. Because you get your audio through your HDMI cable as well, so I don't have to have separate speakers set up for that. I don't actually have to have it set up for this one either. But in fairness, was it this monitor? Something I had on there that just didn't sound good. It doesn't sound too bad though, but I don't need high quality audio on that for what I'm going to use it for. Anywho, barricade lamps. So, as featured in the previous video to this one, I showed you these that I got on eBay for £10 each. I've got two of them. With a little, as demonstrated by it, without me actually doing anything, the metal foot there, as I call it. I don't actually know what it's called. I'll just call it a foot. Because you put that out like that, then you put something on it to weight it. It's just to stop this blowing over on the roads. This is actually, these actually have stickers on that actually say Traffy B-Light, Synchro and Backlight. And I do recall saying in there that I wanted at least two more to go with these, so I could have a setup of at least four. You know, so I can demonstrate the effect properly. Well, two things. I have actually bought two more that I found on eBay. Not with the metal foot on, they're just normal synchro guides. and one of those actually has a handle missing. But while I was in my outside closet the other day, rearranging things in there and putting some boxes of stuff in the shed downstairs, in the brick shed, not only did I actually grab all the other Tildorn Pilot 360s, which I think would be 2 videos ago now, but I found this on the shelf, which I absolutely 100% totally forgot this was there. It's another one. And the more I looked at it, the more I remembered that I bought this one as spares or repairs because it wasn't working and needed some repair work done. But I can't remember who from or when. But yeah, I know it needed a switch. I think that was about it. Oh, and it had the rubber grommet missing. That one's a bit tough, the one I put in there to replace it with. But it looks identical to what's on the other two, but they're more pliable so you can actually turn it on. But because that's quite tough, I've left it in there to fill the hole and just turned the circuit around so the button faces this little hole. But other than that, I've actually got 3. I will have 5 when the other 2 arrive, which I'm looking forward to. So as for the Tildorn Pilot 360s, I have sorted through them all. I've currently got 3 up on eBay. I'm not sure when they're going to end. I think they're, at least from the time of recording this, there's a couple of days left. And they've all got bids on, which also surprised me. And 2 of them I actually put in the bin because they just weren't worth anything. And one of the lenses actually broke. The top of it just smashed through. I just lightly pressed on it with my thumb so I could hear some cracking on it, and it just went pop. And there was no circuits in either of them either. They were just like, well, I suppose I kept them for spare lenses and bodies, and I just thought there's no point. So I just binned those 2. So I've got 3 over there at the moment on eBay, and the others went in the bin. So as soon as those other 2 synchros arrive, I'll be able to do a video on those, and I'll include like a little demo of them. I'll take them downstairs and set them up out back or something, and just do a little demo of them when it gets dark, which I don't have long to wait these days because we're nearly into winter. What else? Oh, before we get into what I've been up to around the rest of the flat and whatnot, and what I plan to do, I'm going around the charity shops again. I don't know the brand of this, it's a Goji actually, apparently. I've got that for £2, a little USB power bank, 2500 milliamp hour apparently. I'm going to show my age now. I'm just wondering how many of my viewers used to watch this when they were young back in the early 90s. It's Moomin Mama. I found her on a shelf in a charity shop. So I thought I'd buy her and put her with all the other bloody toys I've got sitting up here on the monitor. I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 of them up here on my monitors so far. But I just couldn't resist. I felt quite nostalgic when I saw that. Moomins. And every time I look at this now, I keep getting the bloody theme tune in my head. Ba 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 ba. Oh, you're not going to stay up there, are you? I'll find somewhere to put you. There you go. Right. Oh, I've got some vintage Christmas lights as well. Should we have a quick look at those? I've got those from a different charity shop. I've got 4 sets actually. And one of these, I've never seen the bulbs before. I've not seen bulbs like this one either, but it's the other set that intrigued me. So we've got these which are made by Noma, with a very interesting plug for the adapter on it. Yeah, but they are actually glass baubles that they've used on this with like a pearl effect. Unfortunately, one of them did get broken. I don't know if you can just see it in that bundle there. It's right there. But I don't mind. I don't know when it got broken. I don't know if it's broken before I bought it. I don't remember actually hearing anything rattling around in the box when I picked it up. Because all of these were boxed, all 4 sets of lights that I got. They're not 4 sets of this, by the way. So I've got those which I'm going to untangle and I will dangle somewhere. I can't remember what other vintage sets of lights I've got. Because while we're on the subject of these, I was looking in the QD stores earlier and with all the Christmas lights they've got, because I've got quite a few, you know, that they plug in for demonstration. Is it me or are LED lights, Christmas lights that is, so damn bright and in your face? And I don't like that. That's one of the reasons I'm now sticking for as long as I can with vintage lights. Because I like LEDs, I think they do look good. They do look nice to look at and colourful. They're just too bright. I'd love a company to make some LED lights that run dimmer. A little bit more sympathetic, not sort of like just brighten in your face and floodlighting everything. Not for me, I'm afraid. Okay, let me just put these down gently because I don't want to break the baubles, as they are glass. I've got 2 sets here which are, well, for all intents and purposes, exactly the same. I've got wires tangled up there. But they're just 2 different colour variations, that's all. But I've never seen, well, I've seen candle lights like this before. In fact, I think I've still got a set. But not ones which are bunched up in groups of 3. I've got 1, 2, 3, 7 bunches. I don't know why it's an odd number, but it's an odd number. And I've got the little clips on, so I suppose you meant to clip them on the tree or something. So I've got the red and gold, and I've also got the silver and gold. These are only £3 each, I think. Or were these ones might have been, no, these ones were £3 each, and they came with boxes as well. But the ones that really intrigued me, but I'm not really sure if I like them. I just bought them because I've never seen lamps like this before in my life. They're not LED either. So they are low voltage. Have you seen bulbs like that before? You may not be able to see them like that, and what is so special about them. But I don't know if I've still got it lying. Yep, I've still got it lying on the desk. Good. I've got one of them. There's a couple that broke. I broke one was already broken. If you look inside, there's like 3 coloured grain of wheat bulbs in there. They're not LEDs, they're actually tiny little filament bulbs. So you've got 1 yellow, 1 magenta and 1 green. In like a frosted glass bulb, which gives quite an interesting effect actually. You know what, I can plug it in. I don't know what voltage these run at, I've not actually looked, but they can be used outside, hence the bloody long bit of cable. Which is actually highly annoying if you just want to use them on a Christmas tree indoors, because then you've got to do something with all the cable. Dim some lights down as well a little bit. But that's what they look like. I think the camera might be washing it out a bit, but to the naked eye I can actually see all 3 points of colour. But I'm not sure that's coming through on the camera. But, yeah, again for £3, I thought that was just an interesting little set. There's actually quite a few spare bulbs that came with this set as well. And I've got about 20 foot of frickin' cable to deal with, because I've just unravelled it all. This was all very neatly ravelled up as well, so I'm not even sure this set has ever been used. Whoops. I fell out of my screwdriver tray from my little toolbox and flipped all the screwdrivers everywhere. So now I've got that mess to clear up. Right, oh, also during the week, I'm actually waiting on it. I'm actually waiting on 3 parcels this week. I'm waiting on some die cast to arrive. I have got a box on the floor, or rather a plastic tray full, which I actually got from a charity shop. They had all these bags, because some charity shops they sort of bag like 4 or 5 of them together, and then might put £2 on them. I did grab quite a few from this one charity shop. So I've got those, but I'm holding off on those because I am waiting for some more to come in the mail that I got from a chap on Facebook. I've bought from him a few times now. A couple of his Facebook auctions he ran on the diecast selling page I'm on. I pretty much left to sell, and I picked a bunch more out. So I really like the Johnny Lightning and green light stuff and the cast lines and whatnot. So as soon as that lot arrives, I will do a video on those. Is there anything else? I've got a little model up here that I found on Marketplace as well. I'll show you that when I do the rest of it. So, the other thing I've been doing around the flat is having a huge clear out. I've donated stuff to charity, I have binned stuff, I have been selling stuff. You know, I've actually, well, I'm now 4 bikes less. Because I actually managed to sell 4 bikes yesterday. With the 5th being picked up Wednesday at 10:30. I just thought, I've got so many there. 2 of them were shopper bikes, which I put up as a pair. One was a Viceroy, which I think is Italian, but I just wasn't using it. And I've actually got a far better rally over at the workshop, so I thought I'll keep that one. And I paid £5 for that rally at a car boot sale. And I still can't believe that even though I offered him £30 for it, because he said, you know, make an offer, he turned it down and wanted a £5 for it. Someone make that make sense. Why would you do that? If someone offered me £30 for something, I'd be like, yep, sold. But no, I'm not complaining, it just confused me, and it still confuses me every time I think about it. Anyway. So yeah, one was a Viceroy, one was a rally shopper that didn't fold. The Viceroy actually folded in half. But the rally shopper, it was rough. It rode fine, it worked. All the gears worked, brakes worked, you know, even the lights bloody worked on it. I was going to take the lights off, but I couldn't get a bolt to undo it, and I thought I just can't be arsed. Because I wanted the light for my rally, the rear light at least, but yeah. I'll find something else to put on it. So, yeah. It was just rusty, very rusty. It would have been an ideal restoration project. It would have been worth nothing when you were done. I mean, you would have to have spent more money than what the bike is actually worth to restore it. It's the only problem with restoring a bicycle. It's mostly just done out of, I suppose, love, and just for the fact that you want to do it. You're not going to gain any profit from it. Unless you've restored like a really, really rare, obscure bike. Or something that was heavily sought after, like an original rally shopper. Chopper, rather, not shopper. You know, they were all the rage back in the 70s and 80s. And now they're worth a couple of grand. And several hundred for a rough one, so... what were the other 2? 2 mountain bikes. One was a free one I picked up a few weeks ago. I just literally just did a little bit of TLC too. I didn't even adjust the brakes. I had to adjust the gears and pump the tyres up, that was it. Sort of sold it for 20 quid. To a guy I know actually, because he wanted the Muddy Fox for his son, or rather his son wanted the Muddy Fox, so he just bought the other one off of me. So I got the money back for the Muddy Fox. I bought it for 30 quid, sold it for 30 quid. I just, you know, just spent a little bit of time tuning it up and whatnot. Better back wheel, because the original one was knackered. Fitted a V-brake to it, you know, Bob's your uncle, that's pretty much all it needed. So the parts didn't cost me, because they're just what I had kicking around. And really, I didn't have much in the way of time invested in it, because it didn't take me long to do. Same with the other one, so got rid of those as well. In fact, all I've got standing out back here now is one trike and the bike that I use daily to go to the shops and whatnot on, and my bike trailer, which is actually hiding at the minute. You're probably wondering, why did I clear stuff out like that when it's not actually in the flat? Well, one of the residents, bless her, up the other end, has been really putting a lot of effort into tidying this back area up. I mean, it wasn't abysmal beforehand, but I don't think anyone really cared enough to do anything with it, not even Victory Homes. You know, their token effort was to come around once a year with the weed killer, and that was it. But other than that, yeah, they didn't do bugger all. They trimmed the rose bushes as well once a year. That was it. Literally, that was it. That's what we paid our service charge for. And they cut the grass. They had that cut once a month. And I'm not kidding, it was literally roughly once a month. Maybe twice if we were lucky. It'll just make you wonder why we bothered paying a service charge, you know. We're supposed to be paying to have that done. Anywho, I'm not going to rant. You know, she's had... I'm still not certain if she's actually bought the gravel herself or not, but we've had so far about 9 tonne of gravel delivered. Because it was like right under the windows all the way along was gravelled, and I expect that was done when this building was built in the 60s. So it was looking pretty thin and just not very good. So she's redone all of that. She's literally taken up all what was left of the original stuff and put all new stuff down with a proper liner. And she's actually kept the original stuff. She's piled it up in another pile out back. She's got a use for that as well. They've put some plants and things out back. One of the neighbours down on the ground floors put a couple of like little tiny, I can't remember what they call them. They're bright green like conifer. Usually, you know, sort of barn about that big. I can't remember what they actually call them, but there's a couple of those down there and some flowers. Right where I used to park my bike as well. Bikes. You know, because she did speak to me a month or so ago, you know, said, would I mind just putting the bikes over to the side? Which, I don't know why I didn't think of doing that in the first place. I probably would have had less bikes stolen, because they're hidden around there. If anyone comes around the back, being nosy, you know, looking for an easy thing to steal, like an unlocked bike, they're not going to see them. So I think I should have done that in the first place. So yeah, they're now right over there. And I was actually thinking of putting them back on the gravel when it was all done, but now the plants are there and seeing how it looks and how nice it looks, I thought, nah. I'll get rid of all the bikes that I don't really need, want, nor use. I'll create a bit of room in the shed for the bikes that I do want and use. I also created a bit of space out there in the shed to put the extra stuff in that was up here in the cupboard. It's all nicely stacked up. And actually, before I took those tubs down there, I brought them in here and went through them all as well, just to make sure there wasn't anything in there that I didn't really need nor want. And I actually managed to empty a tub out. It's over there. The cats keep playing in it. I'll show you, hang on. It's there. I know that tripod's not in it, it's actually behind it. And there's Smudgy. presume that Snowy is on my bed. That's her usual favourite spot. That's his favourite spot, if he's not up here on the desk with me. And Snowy likes to curl up on the bed. Or under the bathtub. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But there's a gap literally about that big at the end of the bath panel, and she goes under there and disappears under there for a couple of hours or so. I can't believe as a full-size cat she can still get through that gap. Although she is a lot smaller than Smudge. Smudge can't get in there anymore. Maybe that's why she actually goes under there to get away from her brother when she wants a bit of peace and quiet. Yeah. So, back on the flat. I do believe I mentioned not so long ago that I was going to get all the boards I've got in the workshop back here so I can do those windows and get them sorted and build the benchwork for the Lego City, because I'm really eager to get that done now. I wanted to do all this right at the beginning of the year, but one, I was having to get the materials together and that cost money, and I was still piss-arsing around with my moped, which was actually taking up my money, you know, my Yamaha jog, hence why I got rid of it eventually. It would have been a good bike if someone wanted to actually, well, like Kat does, you know, she wants to sit and put some money into it and get it up and running and working perfectly. The problem was, because I'd been throwing money at it for like the last couple of years I'd owned it, or at least a year, I just got bored with it, basically. I could have kept it, you know, and I could have done exactly what Kat's now going to do with it. I just didn't want to. That, and I actually just really wanted a 125. I wanted a different scooter as well, which I've now got. Which I'm just waiting for the brake cable. The brake cable should arrive the end of this week. I can get that fitted. I can get the tyre changed. And then it can go in for an MOT. Then I can tax it and go cruising around again. In the cold and the wet. Which I suppose is better than nothing. But I had to buy it from an Italian supplier again. And even looking around on internet on other websites, it was still just a lot easier, and in some cases cheaper, to actually buy it from an Italian supplier. Work that one out. But it will get fixed. I'm kind of not looking forward to it because I've got to take all the bloody plastics off the handlebar, and possibly the front plastic as well to get the, feed the cable up. Unless I use the current one as like a drawstring, to attach it to the new one, then just pull it up at the front. I could do it that way, or I could pull it down, either way. It might work better if I actually pull it down towards the back wheel. I suppose it doesn't matter. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting that done. My neighbour kept asking me, will I get it done before Christmas? Yes, is the short answer to that one. Definitely, it's just taking time to get parts. The one reason it took so long to get the brake shoes done is because we had to enlist some help, and it's just finding the time to do it. Well, I suppose getting it done eventually is better than getting it, or not getting it done at all, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting there. I think my neighbour's worry is as well with how Victory is. And if anybody decides to report it, I could get in trouble because I've got the Aprilia here. But it's not taxed or MOT'd, which breaks Victory Homes rules, or Flagship Housing, or whatever you want to call them. Because vehicles around here at least have got to be taxed, MOT'd and insured. It's insured, I have done that, that's sorted. But I can't MOT it until I've got the parts, so surely that they should understand that and cut me a little bit of slack for it, I hope. But they have towed vehicles in the past that were left here for well over a year actually. One of them a good 2 or 3 years. So it was actually looking a bit of an eyesore. But the old guy that owned them used to live in the ground floor flat. He just didn't want to get rid of them. You know, and Victory had sent him letters and things, asking for them to be moved because they broke the rules, and they just ended up towing them, and he let them get towed. I don't know. But yeah, that is in the back of my mind as well, Someone just decides to tell or complain to Victory about it, and they're sitting there not doing anything. You never know. But yeah, it should be much longer. I bloody hope it won't be much longer before I've got that on the road. I completely digressed from the topic there, didn't I? I'm supposed to be talking about the flat. Yeah, I'm just waiting to get the boards from the workshop back here, because we need the boards out of the workshop so we can sort the workshop out, because that is an absolute tip. And it is ticking me off a bit, because I've got things I want to get on with in there, and I can't, because I can't move. I want to actually do some work on the vintage Honda moped I've got in there, but I can't, because we're nowhere to move. We've got other power tools and things we need to get in there for storage, and we can't do that because my boards are in there, so... Boards have got to come out and be brought back here regardless. So, I might see if my stepdad wants to do that this weekend. We'll get it done and out of the way. And see if I can enlist some help. It's actually a friend of mine's birthday today, and I feel really bad because I ain't got no money spare to go and get him anything with. And he feels bad because he couldn't get me anything either. I'm not worried about stuff like that. A simple happy birthday, and I'm being dead honest here, a simple happy birthday is good enough for me. I'm not bothered about cards, I'm not bothered about gifts or anything. Just that simple acknowledgement. That is it. That makes me happy. My friends and family are still here, I can be grateful for that. So, don't worry about bloody birthday cards and crap like that. It's only a money-making thing anyway. It's a gimmick. It started, well, it probably wasn't started as a gimmick years ago, but it certainly turned into one, didn't it? A bit like Christmas. I just see that as a gimmick now. You don't buy gifts because you want to. All these pissing adverts on the TV at this time of year, they make you feel obligated. Like you have to buy someone a gift, And if you don't buy the gifts and whatnot that are advertised on TV, you're a dick. I don't like it. That's not what Christmas should be about. I know a lot of people don't treat it that way, but that's how these big corporations bloody treat it, and that's what ticks me off. It's just another money maker in their book. I've realised as well, because I've been moving some Lego sets around on the shelves, I've got some restoration work to do, because there's a lot of them that are built with white Lego bricks, and they're not looking so white now. I've got one on the end of the shelf there that's looking really bad. I'm going to have to dismantle that and put it in some hydrogen peroxide. I can't do that until summer because I need summer sunshine. Not that we get a lot of that anyway. Now I did look into buying like a decent LED UV lamp. They're freaking expensive, because on some of these Lego channels I've watched and whatnot, and, well, other channels that restore plastic stuff, they use these UV lights. They put it in the plastics in a sealed box with just a UV showing and leave it in there with the hydrogen peroxide. I've got the hydrogen peroxide. I bought that years ago. I just haven't used it yet. Yeah, I've got a few sets up on the shelf that really could do with a freshen up. It's hard to know how to prevent it, you know, because it's the UV light that affects a chemical in the plastic that makes it discolour. If it doesn't matter in the colour of the plastic, if it's got this particular bromine or bromide, something like that, that just causes it to discolour when the sunlight hits it. It's one of the reasons I did away with fluorescent lights as well, because they can do it. If you ever wondered why office PCs that were white turned yellow, that's why. As well as obviously the sunlight that comes in through the windows. But yeah, fluorescent lights do give off a particular UV, and I can't remember what type it is now, but not one that's harmful to us, thankfully. So yeah, that'll be a job for either when I get a UV light or next summer if I can find a few nice bright sunny days. But then again, I'm not going to leave it around here. Can't leave it anywhere outside because someone will bloody nick it. I can't really leave it in here because I need sunshine unless I take it over to my mum's and leave it out in the backyard somewhere. That's not a bad idea because her backyard does get a lot of sunshine throughout the day. So I'll probably end up having to do that then. I just want to get my Lego City built. I miss being creative. I've not been able to ever since I got rid of the Lego City. So I haven't been able to rearrange or arrange the Lego and whatnot that I have got to make it easy for me to build. And I guess with the Lego City I just feel like I've got a reason to build, you know. I know technically I don't need the Lego City to build anything, but for me and in my mind that's what I need and want. Right. I don't know if anyone noticed that. No, I'd forgotten. With that extra socket on the end, it's lower because there's a phone cable running along here to my phone jack. And there's a clip there. But I'm not really worried. These three are in line, that one isn't. I'm not worried about that. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have got it higher and just pulled the bloody cable clip out and just, you know, nick the cable in there with the box, but I couldn't be bothered, so I just stuck it like that. It worked, it does the job. I don't care how it looks. Right, I think that's about it for this video. I can't think of anything else. So, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. As always, if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. And of course, subscribe for more. You'll see the progress of the Lego bench work when I get them building, get progress on that. The die-cast collection. Christmas lights, because it is coming up to Christmas. I do love my Christmas lights. Oh yeah, barricade lamps, traffic codes, all sorts. I swear I should have called the bloody channel English All Sorts or something like that. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.